how I think Drake killed Juice WRLD to leading up to how I think Drake killed X. Like, look how much this is. Okay, why is the lighting like that?
Should we?
This is an order from what happened to Juice WRLD to leading up to how I think Drake killed Juice WRLD, how I think Drake killed X. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so a little background if you guys don't know. Juice WRLD died last Sunday because apparently what did he do?
Okay, so what happened basically was, this is a good segue. So his ex-fiance, Ali, said that he took 3 perks that day leading up to him dying. One of his lines says, "Take 3 more, I swear it's worth it. Take 3 more, I swear it's worth it." So then it's like, was it worth it though? Because then you... And so on his plane, he had 70 pounds of weed and he had 2 firearms. One was licensed, one wasn't. And then he had a bunch of narcotics. And so I did the research on that, and that's 20 years in jail if he got caught. And the law enforcement were following his plane because they knew, like, they suspected something was up. And this is the second time that the law enforcement were following him. So people, like, think that he was taking all the narcotics and, like, and the perks because he was trying to, like, the more he got down, the less time he would have in jail. And then it ended up being too much and he died. So then all the articles say that he overdosed because they reported that they saw him put something in his mouth before he had a seizure. But there's a lot of clues leading up to what it could be. I'm gonna take off my Invisalign.
Awkward.
That's so hot. All right.
I do know what happened.
He hid all the drugs in the suitcases, and so then once, like, he did pass away, the law enforcement who was following him ended up looking at the plane and then finding all this stuff. And they were like, we knew it.
I found it before you.
That's true.
Because when I woke up, he was dead and I was crying.
I just spit. No.
Oh, I shipped that back up.
What was he talking about?
You're talking about the things that led up to Juice's death.
Okay, my conspiracy was that Drake was his drug dealer and was giving him perks laced with coke because Drake had admitted to doing drugs in the past, but he only admitted to doing weed and coke. And so there's a lot of clues leading up, and, like, if you look at articles, there's a lot of articles that say people would get perks laced with coke and it would kill them. And so one of his songs, Rich and Blinded, it says, "They tell me the death of me is gonna be the perks. I know they lace the pills. I bought
them on purpose."
I bought them on purpose.
It's
From
just...
Drake. The song Legend also talks about him dying at 21, and he just turned 21 like 6 days prior to. So then it was like all these stuff that was like, okay, what?
Oh, also in All Girls Are the Same, it's like it
Wake
talks.
Up in Monte Carlo.
Yeah, Wake Up in Monte Carlo. It's like
Wake Up in the Next Day in Monte Carlo.
Yeah, but it says mentions
About
like
a girl in Colorado.
people are also saying how he flew to the Bahamas or something. Like they tracked down his like his flight information, but it was actually wrong because people got confused with LA with Louisiana. So the plane that they actually got was from Louisiana, going to the Bahamas, not from Los Angeles, California.
But also I was like confused because then it was like he went to Chicago because that's where he was born, and he went there to visit for his birthday to see his family. So then I thought it was weird that he died where he was like raised, but then it was like the song says wake up the next day in Monte Carlo, so it was like if he did fake his death, it says I'm a jealous boy, really feel like John Lennon. And then I was like researching that, and John Lennon has a song called Jealous Guy, so he was referring that. So I don't think there's a correlation between him dying on the day that John Lennon did. It could be a coincidence. There's definitely more details, but let's do a part 2.
Part 2.
Dude, the fact that like Shane Dawson though gets famous off of like doing videos like this, like that's insane.
We should get famous off this.